Good afternoon, everyone. It's Linda here from Banjo's Beat House with our weekly Facebook Live video. And this week it's a little bit different. I need some help. Over the weekend, the lovely Lynn from Silver Moon Beads had some of her glass cabochons up for sale. And as you can probably see, I love her glass cabs. And I picked one up in a orange tone. Way outside my wheelhouse, but given that peach fuzz is color of the year and I did say I would try and play with this color a little bit more this year, I picked this one up being that it's in the orange spectrum, but it is way outside of my color comfort zone. So I'm asking for your help to make this into a cab piece as a necklace, basically the same style as what I have on, but in these colors. So I'm going to tip you guys down and show you some of the colors that I've pulled from the store stock to try and figure out where I may go. And I'm going to post some photos up for you guys to give me your vote. And then over the next couple of weeks, we're actually going to show you guys how I actually turn that into a necklace like this. So we'll share some of the steps along the way. So yeah, let's tip you guys down and take a look at this cab in close-up. So it's one of her lovely glass etched cabs, has a nice flat back with texture, so it grips really well when I'm sticking it down to foundations. Yeah, it's got orangey, yellow, shimmery tones, and there's a little bit of purple and green tones in the flowers. The light's not really helping. We'll see if we turn it off, if that makes a difference. Yeah, you can see the dark orange glints coming through, but I am going to turn that back on. So I am working on white to help me out a little bit. And I've pulled, obviously I'm going to work with black because there's black in the piece and black is my go-to. So it's staying in my comfort zone. Heading out of my comfort zone, I have pulled in the opaque, so in the same genre as I guess the black, two shades of orange and really bright yellow. So we could kind of play around that way. I'm kind of surfing around for ideas of, do I just bezel this in black the way the piece I'm wearing is? And I'm going to take that off so you guys can see. So the piece I'm wearing, I completely bezeled just in black and then introduced the color to match in the rope. In this case, I used an iris, purple iris. So there's just a little bit of color glint when that decides to focus in. Give me one sec. So there's just a little bit of color in that rope. Otherwise, this is all black. So it's just a matter, and my little spirit bead. So I'm in two minds to bezel around this in an orange or a yellow and just do 15s around the edge for black and then do something with black in the rope where I've done that in other pieces. So I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts. So this is kind of color option 1. Color option 2 is, instead of going with the opaques, go for a shiny kind of opaque. So this is the luster in yellow and orange. So it plays up way more of shiny tones to play up with the shiny of the glass. This is kind of option 2. Go super shiny, and I'm kind of self-eliminating this one already, but we'll get your votes. Play around with the silver line. So this would be going really shiny. That would be option 3. Going a little bit different, this is the Duracoat silver lined, but they're a little bit muted in comparison to the traditional silver line. The Duracoat ones, at least this is way more muted than that orange, so it's a little bit more subtle. The other option I've got with that is I could take away the yellow, as with all of these, and just do black and orange. So that's kind of option number 4. Option number 5, this is a transparent topaz AB, so it just brings in a bit more of that shine to it. So there's that kind of option. Things that I kind of ruled out because I just didn't think they worked. This is the galvanized berry, which I have used in a few pieces, but is just too dark for this. I liked this one when I pulled it out, but he doesn't go. That's kind of more of a rose goldy. There are other shades of opaques that I looked at, but I just think they're too dark and not quite in the same color spectrum. This is a silver lined gold matte, and I just didn't think it had enough oomph. Then there's, you know, looking into the transparents. So this is a matte transparent, but I just didn't think that had enough, again, oomph. The last thing I am contemplating is, do I do, very similar to the piece I showed you guys that I was wearing, black bezel, and then just play with this mix as in the rope to just bring a little bit of the color, but let the caps kind of stand out on its own in the black. This would be my safety version, because it would, for me personally, who's not a fan of orange, this would at least, for me, have more black, and just a little bit of a nod to the color in the rope, without being so impactful of orangey tones. But yeah, I'm stuck. So as I said, I'd love your guys' help. I'm going to post some photos up and we'll take some polls, and then over the next couple of weeks, you'll see me working on it, and I'll share photos as I'm working on it at home. But yeah, so please help, so that I can complete at least one orange color challenge this year. I know that there's a couple of other things I've got mulling around in the back of my head potentially to play with this. So yeah, that's where I'm at. We are in the middle of finishing the packing of our March box, which is the 3-hole bead, bridge and navette. So we will keep the pre-order bonus open until Tuesday morning. Tuesday is when we'll actually have them on the shelf for those customers walking into the shop, and they'll come off pre-order on the website and just go to available. There is a couple of them left. Peach Fuzz, Mum is currently wrapping, so that will also start shipping and be available in the store from Tuesday, and I'll keep the pre-order bonus available on that till Tuesday morning as well, and then we'll change that status to in stock. So you've got a couple more days to order both of those. The Peach Fuzz box, it looks very pretty, but it's not my color jam. It's been a challenge putting it together, but I did commit to trying to play with the color of the year. So I am doing my best to step outside of my color zone, and have some fun with it. But that's it for me for this week. I will see you guys next week when we do some work on this little challenge piece. Bye for now.